mute, but I know why. Now I should be. Yeah. I removed the cam because I thought this wouldn't be not necessary. Thanks, Tomaszek, for letting me know. So let's start again. And quickly this time, because I have fewer time. So Poland and RCP won their group, survived quarterfinals, semifinals, weren't as close. Both were able to secure the win in their fourth game, didn't need the fifth one. And this is also a rematch of 2023's final, where Poland was able to eke out the closest win possible in the 5-duel match, a 3-2 with a game score of 8-7. So all 5 of these matches needed the third game, and I keep my fingers crossed for this to be necessary today as well, because this would definitely mean prime content. So that's it for ETCOC 2023 back then. Today we have these lineups here, and notice the rank over there. 8 of these 10 players are currently rated in the top 100 Carcassonne ELO rating, and there are even 3 in the top 20 with ELO ratings of over 700. So it's a lineup that's prime with heavyweights all around. There's UI Scooty on table 1, favored against DoNotWasteMyTime, and then we have a more open table 2. I don't have a favorite there. Maybe Dexter because of more experience, but really not that much. mtuu versus 71st, toss up as well. And then we have the tables 4 and 5, where I'd heavily favor the 700 around 50 rated players, so Terran PL on table 4 and Mikhail on table 5. Overall, I'd ever so slightly favor the Polish squad, but it could go either way. Regarding the bronze medal match, still with this lineup, Ukraine is the heavy favorite. So we'll see later if we might be able to cover something of this match as well. For now, let's hope BGA starts on time. And then I'll figure out what to do with the cam. So I'll focus on mtuu 71st, because I hope this will be a pretty interesting match, and definitely one that could need 3 games to commence. So looks like the tournaments of Ukraine, Belgium have already started, but the final is not started yet. Was there any change? Yeah, thanks Tomaszek for letting me know, by the way, again, and confirming that it works now. mtuu reports some problem. Well, that's oddly specific mtuu. So, well, let's take a look at Basiliuk's first moves of the day. Likely due to the time difference. If I'm correct, he lives in Canada. He wasn't able to participate in the quarterfinals and semis, which definitely would have helped Ukraine against Poland. But it is what it is. And actually, this one is covered by Alexei, so I won't bother. Let's take a look at Tor UA versus JinaJina, and then hope that the tournaments start. If someone could enlighten me as to where the problem lies, this would be interesting. If not, I'm happy to cover this match for a few minutes. Just a bit tricky to then find the exact second when the others start. So let me open mtuu. Oh, mtu is fine, he said once, so let's stick with mtu. That's easier to refresh and quicker to load than the scoreboard at the bottom. And yes, I know that my face is in the way. Let me just shrink this. So this should work. Maybe I could move this up top there. Yeah, works as well. I actually don't really care, but MTU doesn't know more. So I guess the tournaments, excuse me. So I guess the tournaments were created, but just didn't start. Yeah, start date 5 minutes ago. Over registered. Something with pairings, question mark, says MTU. Okay. This tournament has ended actually, so looks like, yeah, looks like there are problems. Tomaszek says they'll figure it out and I may continue. Well, what else shall I do? So folks, just let me know once the tournaments are created, please. And I'll take a look at all the other games that aren't covered by Alexi for now. So if you are interested in Basiliok specifically, that's covered by Alexi. Is this still true? It's still true. So let's focus on Tor UA's game versus JinaJina. Interesting 4 monastery cluster in the middle of the board. There's only a wall missing here. Whoa. Blue acts against this square, totally neglects that this also threatens their city there. Whoa. That's reckless, but gets away with it. Tough luck for yellow. And now this here, of course, is dead. And this meeple on the monastery as well. Yellow tries to advance their road indirectly. Blue jumps on this chance. And for now, this looks pretty great for blue. Best hope for yellow is this city on the top left, and that blue city isn't easy to close without interference by yellow. Yeah, nothing happening on the Poland RCP tournament front. Looks like they need to set up new tournaments. Well, if they'll take a few minutes, maybe this match here advances quickly. I mean, Ukrainians are rather fast players in general. Let's see. Zaharik isn't playing, so one of these slower ones of them takes a break now. Tor advances with this city. There's one splitter already gone, so not really a big problem. The usual double Dorito continuation or finalization definitely looks promising for yellow. There's not much else. Blue threatens a city completion with the Dorito for themselves, and I think they should just do it. Take care of this one later if you still get a chance. For now, score, score, score. Yellow with an interesting move. So they didn't act against this square. They didn't go here to create a platform against blue's attacking square. So they built an indirect option to later restrict blue's city to a starting tile. And if you are faster than me today in seeing these permutations, options, possibilities, whatever you may want to call this, please chime in the chat, because after playing 4 pretty high level matches yesterday, streaming another, I don't know, 90 minutes, and all the streams today, I'm actually a bit tired and not as up to speed as I would be if this were my only match for today. Yellow with the protection of their city, which also allows blue to go for a blocking move, but they aren't successful. Actually, this might work. Does this work? Wow, this works. So maybe I should use this setup more often and actually, let's try this one. This doesn't? Why does this not work? And there might be something missing here. There is something missing. There's a second row left. Okay. Let's put it here for now. So yellow got the Dorito immediately after blues try to attack / kill this one. On tough luck for them, yellow was even able to reduce this to the last dagger, but they still have their city over here, which now might get limited or restricted to the starting tile over here and needing another city cap there, but yellow opts to add this to their own city, try to kill this one here, and just hopes that blue won't get 2 Doritos or a Dorito and a diagonal splitter before they can do something about this city via the right side. Maybe even drawing a starting tile themselves would help. But with all these city pieces and caps out there, I'm not sure that's the right approach here. If blue would manage to close this city with the one meeple only, then I'd say they should have a walk in the park from this point on. They already took the field on the right side. The one in the middle isn't as juicy, at least for now. Maybe once blue city closes. And both don't get any city pieces to do something about this city. Blue just limits yellow city on the right side, and they didn't use the straight over here because this way they protect against the finalization of the city combined with a field attack. So here we go. Yellow creates the platform, hopes to be able to attack this city, and blue doesn't counter. And there's one pretty significant threat. That would be yellow attacking this way and then drawing the splitter as well, plus the last remaining cow. But it's unlikely, and very unlikely at that. Here we go. JinaJina gets the splitter, will quite likely put it over here because there are more tiles to attack from the right side than from the left side. And now it's scramble time for Tor at -21. I don't think there's much leeway. So not trying to run interference on the city would definitely hurt. But he doesn't panic, closes this city, hopes to just draw anything over here, because then at least this square would be limited to either the last remaining road Dorito or the last remaining field Dorito / the last remaining cow. And the cow wouldn't be the option blue is hoping for, as that would create another option for yellow to attack this again. And what a timing! Getting the curve just before JinaJina was able to close this one. This is called just in time. Now blue's ahead by 19 points. 2 meeples down though, maybe even 3 if yellow manages to close their city on the right side. But there aren't any big features to score a lot in this game. So there's no easy way like overrunning an 18-point field with 2 farmers or something like that. So yellow would have to chop away piecemeal here, like this 3-point road. And JinaJina gets a beautiful tile. Perfect block over here. That's the last dagger. And this one then would be dead. The field would be rather secure from attacks from the top as well. You don't have to meeple the cap. Opts to just take the 4 points. Yeah, this works, but Now you have to deal with this option, because I'm pretty sure yellow will jump on this chance. Oh, they even attack up top. Yeah, and that's now you get the vanilla. Arguably one of the worst pieces you could draw at this point in time. And with only 8 tiles to go, please bear with me, but this move here should be considered, and really in all earnest, because yeah, now yellow threatens to overrun your field. But the good news is now that blue just got the last vanilla and there's no monastery left. This field here is rather easily blocked like this. Tor quite likely connects. Fabian was able to beat Lawyer. Nicely done. And they have started their second game just a few seconds ago. So first blood drawn by the Belgians. Sorry. And JinaJina doesn't get anything to counter this field attack. Best news for them, though, there's only one curve remaining to successfully execute it. They block the continuation, or limit the continuation. So yellow couldn't use the straight profitably on their road. The curve they'd used here anyway, and city plus road pieces would still fit there, and maybe they'd use them elsewhere anyway, for example, over here. So JinaJina now gets a piece to block this one, and considering this secures the tie on the 9-point field, that's definitely worth the 1-point investment. But still, I drawing this Dorito and at least trying this field attack. Yellow did create a close game. Blue quite likely will just take the 7 points, and then all there's left. Ooh, okay. They didn't see the 7 points. Take 6. Yellow takes 5 then instead of the 6. So it's a wash. 7 to 6 or 6 to 5, doesn't matter. The difference is the same. 1 point in JinaJina's favor in the exchange of these last 2 moves. So 2 points overall. I'm not sure this one here was the right choice, but it worked. And there's the next Belgian win. Carcharoth 9 was able to beat fanalexn. And Nice Dicer was able to beat Chemimaru as well. So let's check if Crafty Raf did complete the sweep of the first games, and he did 151 to 112. Whoa. Will be interesting to see what happened there. Why did I reload already running game? I don't know. So Tor UA, JinaJina have started their second one. The final still hasn't started. I'm not sure what's the problem there. And what's on the left? Nice Dice are still missing. The second game of Nice Dicer versus Chimimaru hasn't started yet. It has started. Okay, here we go. So let me actually try this again. No, that hides the tiles up top. It's worse. Yeah, this might work. Okay, what happened here? Oh, nice road by blue. Waiting for the road monastery. Field fight has begun in the middle. JinaJina took 3 of the 4 cities that are already completed. So a cap-heavy game in the beginning. Discord, there's mtuu. Okay, I'm not sure if that's an information that I should share with my viewers, so I won't. If I can share this mtu, please let me know. Okay, yellow got the monastery. Of course, they used it even though this liberated blue's road, but that's exactly why blue used the road. Okay, so yeah, captains are talking that are the Polish and RCP captains. So we'll see what they figure out, and maybe by then the Belgians were able to sweep Ukraine. And if that would happen, color me surprised. Whoa. So let's check if any of the Ukrainians will be able to mount a comeback, or maybe 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 of them. Would be a significant bummer for Belgium, but it's Carcassonne, everything's possible. On this table, though, it looks pretty rough for JinaJina, so blue, which is the Belgians' color in this setting because they are the away team. Yeah, liberates the monastery, pre-closes the road. Overall, pretty nice. And easy going at that for yellow. There's also an empty cap lying around here. Yellow only actually has two problems. That's this likely ruin, although it's still alive, but tough to complete with 5 pieces needed and specific ones at that. So dagger here, starting tile there, another cap with the road. Looks like a ruin to me. And then there's this one up top, which also would either need a splitter or a city cap with the road and more pieces. So meeple security ain't there 40 in this game. Now blue pressures this square, tries to limit it preferably to the quadruple crossroad. Maybe if they'd get a cow, they'd limit this to the rose as well, because 2 roses are already gone. Else they might not bother, because this would give upside to yellow. Yeah, works. Could kill this square. Then you could liberate your monastery once you get the dagger. So why not continue with this option? Yeah, yellow responds in kind by killing the monastery, leaving the cap out there for anyone to take, because it's rather easy to bend that one in the direction of their ruin. So any Dorito would immediately kill the meeple on here, because this here was the second splitter. Both are next to each other. So this move by blue is a pre-limitation. If yellow connects here, they need a horse here and multiple other pieces to use this city parts profitably. So likely a ruin as well. They are ahead by 23 points right now, but this is more or less solely the reason of owning this field. Was this even an English sentence? I don't know. But 21 points on yellow's field over here, and their lead is 23 points. So if blue manages to equalize the field, the game is tied, and they are the ones with the long-term meeple majority. Let's see if Tor even goes there in in the hopes of connecting later on over here and maybe forcing blue to take this ruin beforehand. This move here was just to shore up the wall against blue field attacks. There is no option here. Of course, none here, none here. So this left flank is the only one that's open. Yeah, safer move, just taking the ruin points. If you get the last horse, you can take these road points and this city piece here later. So for Jina, it's of the essence to not limit this field and create options to connect somehow. For now, they just take this 6-point, maybe 9-point field. Yeah, it's a 9-point field now. Let's see if they take the road as well. So adding this one over here, score 7, the road 5 would have been 12. Okay, it's only in air quotes 7. Lead down to 13 points. So there are still options for blue to win this without attacking yellow's field. There is this diamond-shaped city on the right side, still road Doritos left, but no field Dorito, and only one cow. So a block with roads like this would be pretty effective. For now, it looks like Thor is thinking about this one, which would severely limit the chances of a field attack from the bottom side. Maybe this orientation, but I'd use this one just because your opponent would have to use city piece there, which they, in most cases, would be able to use somewhere else for more profit. Downside would be creating this hamster spot here. But they just go for the ruin addition, and blue jumps on this chance to attack these 10 points. So for now, blue doesn't advance or doesn't try to advance, but actually they haven't gotten any useful piece to attack the field. So the litmus test will be once they get a straight or maybe a crossroad. That actually helps yellow. Not yellow. Blue. But yellow finally gets one of the precious crossroads after blue drew 2 of them. And now yellow has the meeple majority. Blue connected to the ruin. and quite likely will now attack the field. Yeah, sure. Only one crossroad left. Was this the monastery set up by yellow? And hoping to get the curve before blue can do anything about this? If so, pretty ambitious one. Yeah, looks like Poland RCP need to contact the DAZ, and it's pretty much unheard of. I'm just speculating. Please don't get me wrong. I don't know anything about the situation, but if they haven't figured it out by now, I'm not sure what else is there. So lawyer able to take the first game win for Ukraine. fanalexn does the same against Carcharoth 9. And let's quickly check. Maybe Basiliuk has already equalized against Crafty. He hasn't. So looks like we'll get at least 2 deciders. No, it doesn't look like it. It's the case, and it looks like Ukraine will do their very best to win this. Well, that's a tautology, actually. Of course, they'll do their very best to win this. Okay. So no progress on the final. This might take a while and wreaks havoc on my dinner plans, actually, but we'll figure this out, or they will figure this out. I'm just here blathering on. Whoa. Interesting move by yellow. Opening this attacking option. Opening an option to block this one, but also giving blue a second route over here with monasteries and vanillas, but the vanillas are already gone. And now it gets wild. Yellow adds a third farmer. JinaJina attacks the ruin, which could be an alternate win condition for them. The problem, though, is that they just created a road waiting for a curve, which they also would like to maybe use over here. Depends on the exact situation. So they limit this square to the only remaining connection pieces, namely the 2 remaining rotoritos. So at least with this move, yellow forced them to use something over here. And if blue would have gotten a monastery or the quadruple crossroad, for example, they couldn't have done anything about it. Let's see. I mean, Yellow could go over here, take the 5 points. Oh, that's actually this. They could go over here. They could go over here. So taking these 11 points, but letting the blue meeple onto the field isn't their style. They use this orientation to use curves over here and still have the bottom route via monastery and I don't know any other road piece except for the road monasteries, road Doritos and Rose. Yep, here is the monastery. JinaJina gets one as well. So looks like why did this change now? I misclicked, obviously. Yeah. So just dumps the monastery at the bottom, hoping to block this square here. Yellow takes the rows and crucial points. Blue counters with 4 points of this road, still needing one of the road Doritos to connect, and the longer this takes, with both of them being out there, the more likely it becomes to get one of them. Yellow connects over here, still 2 curves out there, and the next curve for sure will go there to liberate Yellow's monastery and take away these 3 points from blue. And if that would be the case and Yellow weren't, blue weren't able to counter attack like this, then Yellow would run away with this game, even if blue were able to connect up top. But that's all in the future. So blue attacks here, needs the curve. Yellow gets one of the precious Doritos, and we'll see. Blue has these 3 high impact tiles, and they are the starting player. And with only 5 tiles remaining, they are guaranteed to either get at least 1 curve or the remaining road Dorito. Meanwhile, Nice Dicer was able to eke out a 1-point win against Chemimaru to secure the first win for Belgium. Although I should check the end results between Basiliuk and Crafty Raf. And yeah, Basiliuk was able to tie the duel. So Nice Dicer's duel win actually was the first one. So Yellow decides to take the road. Blue connects to the ruin. Blue connects to the field. Yellow takes their meeple back. And due to this here, blue will win this game. Dumping the straight somewhere they don't care anymore. JinaJina secures The second win for Belgium. And all other tables are tied at 1. So we are witnessing 3 deciders now. Let's check. So Alexi is still covering Basilio Crafty Raft. Then let's go to fanalexn, because these two against Carcharoth or Carcharoth, I'm not sure. 9. They are closer to the end than Lawyer and Fabian Mouton. Okay, this looks like a yellow heavy game. This hamster is dead. Both road monasteries are on the left. One monastery was even discarded, likely in the early game, I'd say. Giving this setup though, it's pretty interesting. Maybe this column was played in the beginning. So what are the chances of blue to still win this one? Well, liberate your monasteries and make good use of your meeples. Taking this field, maybe even an attack on the right side as well, but yellow is a bit quicker with this idea. So this curve move might have been just too slow. Yellow connects. Blue, of course, could connect as well with remaining straight or crossroad. But actually, it's a 12-point field. This is a 9-point field. So move like this would only net them 3 points. But it would open options. And one of these options would be to take over an 18-point field afterwards. So connecting here and maybe successfully attacking up top would net you 21 points. And that's more or less the current difference on the virtual scoreboard. They did go up top. Yellow uses this attacking option to prevent any chance for blue to connecting here and doing the same up top. This then gives blue more options. Closing the city, adding another monastery here. Mind you, this is wrong. There's only the one left. At 22 points, it's cutting it close. Maybe they just outdraw yellow, getting all 4, now 3 road or plain road pieces would work as well. There are even cases where they could try a ninja attack somewhere. And yellow's farmer on the left side is also still alive with curve plus another road. This could beam itself onto blue's 9-point field, although why should they? Their field is at 12 points. Well, maybe they should to force blue to invest even more farmers, and blue only has the one meeple in hand. But for now, the simple approach for yellow, just connecting up top, might be all they need to do to win this game. They now could kill this monastery square, but this would allow blue to free up 2 meeples with 1 piece. And they'd rather, ideally, draw the monastery themselves to kill this square, because this would be the last monastery. One was discarded, and all the vanillas are also gone. Yeah, nice move. But it's still completable. It's still completable. So might need to invest this one here. But even then, no, then it's not completable, or wouldn't be completable anymore. They just opt to add 2 points to their ruin. Aren't in the business of giving blue more points, even if that would kill blue city. Because if you'd use this over here, the only continuation left in deck would be the plain Dorito, but that's the one you'd need on the top left as well. So that's the last one. Therefore, this city is dead. Blue was able to liberate 1 monastery. Are still down 15 points, but that's the penultimate curve, and there are only 2 road pieces left in the deck. Blue could get both, but they'd still need to find a way to attack this field. So let's see if yellow does something about this. Maybe a block like this, killing this option. Maybe just taking the field here, although might be a tad early. Yeah, they block this one and take the field. Okay, I think that's fine. And yeah, now here's a suggestion for blue. One color like this. That doesn't really help you. This one here was at least a chance. So of course you would need yellow to draw the monastery and then the straight for yourself, and it would have worked like a charm, but it was unlikely, sure. They connect, take the road, but they are still at -9. That's not enough. I'm not sure if this one would have scored them enough, but I think more than this option, at least. So this then will be fanalexn turning around their duel against C9 from Belgium, putting Ukraine on the match scoreboard. Looks like Basiliuk will win versus Crafty. Also turning the tables on Raf. And then there's the close game between Lawyer and Fabian for the bronze medal. Yeah, so let's switch. In the end, fanalexn won by 8 points. So still no news from Poland or RCP. So let's switch the layout. I mean, if I had known that this would take ages, I might have switched a while ago. Something's off with this one. Looks like the curves are gone. Let's quickly check. Yeah, all curves are gone. So Lawyer at -4 sets up a 5-point road to be used with a road monastery. Blue completes a yellow's road, but connects to this field, which before this move was in sole possession of yellow over here. Now it's tied. One blue, one yellow farmer, but there's a second farmer at the bottom. But if there aren't any curves left, well, then that's not gonna jump on the field somehow. So yeah. Looks like the only option for yellow. Drawing the monastery for a 6-point road and taking over the field again. And it's a 15-point field, so a 21-point move. Saves the bacon of Lawyer and Ukraine. Fabian can't do anything about it. So in the end, it was this year that saved the day, or at least this medal game for Ukraine. And with 3 tiles left, it was a 66% chance to successfully execute this. But kudos on to lawyer for adding the straight, maybe even straights here earlier to set this up and score the maximum road points available. Yeah, Fabian tries to find out whether there's still a chance for this here to be completed somehow. And if not, he'll likely add the splitter there, but alas, it doesn't make any difference. Yeah, actually, I'm not sure which game Alexi covers right now. He's viewing both, so I don't know. I don't care. Why is this not centered like this? So let's take a look at Basiliuk, because I thought he'd already won against Crafty, but actually there were still moves to be played, but looks like it wasn't enough in the deck to still counter for Crafty. So Basiliuk also manages to upset the Belgian after being down 0-0, 0-0, yeah, 0-1. And then it's a tough loss for the Belgians after these 2-0 wins by JinaJina and Nice Dicer, and all other tables were at 1-0 Belgium as well. But Crafty Raf, Fabian, and C9 all lost 2 games in a row. So the last 6 games of this match went to Ukraine, and they are able to secure the bronze medal. Yeah, now Lawyer is writing something. I think he didn't meant to write this in a chat, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, what a match. What a heartbreaking loss for Belgium, actually. Mind you, they weren't considered to be the favorite. Let me actually translate that, because if Lawyer said something along the lines of, I don't know, count faster, which Fabian's response indicates, then that actually is not the gentlemanly way. And translate by Google says, "You are counting slowly, man." Well, sorry, Lawyer, but no. That's not fair play. Let him count if he needs to. If he doesn't know that a game is already lost, it's his time, not yours. And I know where you're coming from. I'm definitely in the same boat, being annoyed by pretty slow players. I've blocked hundreds of them because they were too slow for my taste, but I've come around quite a bit. So in the end, if there are 15 minutes on the opponent's clock, they have 15 minutes. And if they want to use 14 minutes 59, they are allowed to. Just let them suck it up, play your game, and in this case, win it no matter how much time they take. So in the end, congratulations to, first and foremost, Belgium for playing an excellent tournament, even if there was this tiny bit missing to win a medal. But still, great tournament, and I'd say if one had said before the tournament you'll get into the semifinals, they would have been very happy with this. It's the biggest achievement on team level so far, so great on them. And then, of course, congratulations, Ukraine, for securing this bronze medal. I know you would have liked to play a final and maybe take a gold medal home, but at least it's bronze again. And there's always next time. Maybe then you might be able to field your best squad in the quarter and semifinals. Who knows? This could have turned the semifinal, maybe. Well, it's Carcassonne. What shall I say? So, what else is there? Well, there might still be a final to be played, but I haven't gotten any news as of late. So my last update was 30 minutes ago, which is actually quite annoying. Not that I did get an update, but I mean, the final should have started more than an hour ago, and there were some troubles with the lineups. I don't really know why or what happened or what's the problem now and what was the problem an hour ago. But it should be pretty simple to find a solution. And it's pretty annoying because in the end, it's Carcassonne. Yeah, sure, there's a gold medal at stake, but no money, no lives. It's effectively bragging rights, and online at that. So come on, guys. Get your act together, finalize your lineups, and let's go. I'm hungry. I need to eat. So, damn it. Well, I missed one message. This year, nice comeback challenge by mtuu. Yeah, indeed. This was, or these two matches. I think the comment was about lawyer's comeback. So the is it available somewhere? No, the field attack with the road monastery, but the game before that one. So Jina, was it JinaJina? What was it? Actually, I can't remember. It's too much for me. Sorry, folks. The games before that were also pretty interesting, and maybe he even talks about Ukraine being down 0-5 and still being able to eke out the win here. And not just 0-5, but they were down 0-2 as well. So 0-5 in games and then 0-2 in duels. But as I said, 6 games in succession won by Basiliuk, fanalexn, and Lawyer to win 3 duels versus the Belgium squad. So, dear Polish friends, any news regarding your final against RCP? Dear organizers, any news? Any news at all? Do you have a PR department I need to call or Discord talk to? I don't know. Because, sorry, no, let me drink a sip. I budgeted 90 minutes for this stream and even instructed one of my family members as for the dinner plans, but if I need an hour more, that's all shot. Yeah, so thanks too much for updating me. Still no final decision. Seems captains are discussing with organizers still. I mean, oh, well. What shall I say? So, how about we just analyze a game? Let's do something. Or wait a minute. Let me quickly take a 1-minute break to let my family know that I'll be taking more time than budgeted, and then I'll be back and then we'll analyze a game. If you have an interesting game or something else to show on screen, please let me know in the chat. Tomaszek is trying to summarize. Well, I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, so I'm back. So, as I said, Tomaszek summarizing the situation. Both teams were saving the squads for the final. The Polish captain, UI Skuti, did try to save the squad for the final game with these 5 folks here. And, oh, sorry, wrong highlight. It didn't work. We tried a different order. Mind you, that's all from the Polish side. So no guarantee for anything, but I just have to take their words, and there's no reason for me to not take their words as correct. So then at 13:56 UTC, he sent an email to the organizers with the screenshot of the original order. So I guess this email should be available to the organizers as well. And 13:56 is on time. I think the cutoff would have been 14 UTC, so an hour before the originally scheduled starting time. And then let's wait what else Tomasz will share with us, if there's anything to add, but I guess there might be. And I'll get a TLDR from mtuu as well. And now mtuu noticed that Tomasz already cleared it in the chat, but oh, thanks a lot. Anyway, okay. So let's continue with Tomasz's explanations here. So looks like at least when UI Scooty refreshed the page, the website wasn't showing any squads, just errors. Finally, then it was possible to save their lineup with tables 2 and 5 exchanged. I mean, who cares actually? Yeah, so looks like it worked on third or fourth try by UI Scooty to send the Polish squads to the organizers via the website. Well, I don't see any problem until this year. Yeah, it's software, errors happen. So you deal with it, and this at least sounds to me like it was fine. So then looks like lineups were published. The Polish team is the home team, so it was their obligation to create tournaments. They did so. And it looks like all RCP players then left the tournaments a minute before the start. So they had joined the tournaments, all 5 of them, looks like it at least. And then RCP claimed that the Polish guys would have been able to see their squad and adjusted the Polish squad because they did see the RCP squad prematurely, which Tomasz says isn't true. And well, I don't have server logs, so I can't check, but this might be possible to be checked by the admins of Carcassonne.cat. Yeah, and then the Polish team argued that no, the RCP teams wanted to enter new lineups. Why the hell? Which the Polish team didn't want to. They wanted to stick to their original lineup or the lineup with tables 2 and 5 on their side only being exchanged. And so either the one they originally entered or the one they sent to the organizers via mail and to the lineups that were available online for everyone after 1404 UTC. And then the best news of them all. It seems there's agreement. Whoa! Is it white smoke? I think it's white smoke, right? In the Vatican, it's white smoke, right? Right? I'm sure. You Poles must know. The final should start at 7. No, Maciej writes 16:45 UTC. Okay, that's in 20 minutes. The only question I have, with which lineups and where are these lineups? Because I need to change my setup as well. So shall I refresh the ETCOC page? And would these lineups be the correct ones? Here goes. The Polish lineup for the final, fresh off the press, will be UI Scooty, Tomaszek, mtuu, Terran, PL, GreyDev. So GreyDev and Tomaszek changing places. And RCP lineup and order as originally set. So I only need to switch GreyDev and Tomaszek. Let's cover these two chat messages as well. That's easy. And still a bit, what is it, flabbergasting or something, that this took 90 minutes or almost 90 minutes to solve, but why not? At least it's done now. And I sure hope that this doesn't create any problems for the parties that were involved discussing this. So quite likely UI Scooty has wasted a lot of time on this, and I'm actually not sure the RCP captain Annen May, I think, doesn't play in the final, so maybe a small advantage for RCP, but we'll see about that later. So I think I don't need to set up anything else. The rest should take care of itself. Let's figure out, this might work. And then I could even beam myself back over here. Yeah, that's big enough. I hope it works. So still 50 minutes left. Let's check how many of you are still viewing and quite a lot. So thanks for sticking around for the solution of this. I don't know what to call it, actually. But at least it's solved now, and we'll hopefully still get 5 pretty interesting matches. So please bear with me. I'll take a quick, let's say, 5-minute break, and then I'll be back. Maybe 7 minutes. Let's say I'll be back at 35. Until then, I'll just add the break animation here. So see you in 7 minutes. Okay, folks, I'm back, and Tomaszek just posted in the chat that the order of the Polish squad is also as originally entered, and then an excuse. Yeah, sure. Tomasz, don't worry. I'm glad you took the time, not knowing when and if your final would start, to update us. So that's very much appreciated. So no need to be sorry at all. It's just only a small nuisance in the grand scheme of things to update this one here again, and that's as simple as replacing these two strings again, or exchanging these two strings. So this then should be the lineup. And well, then let's take a look at the ratings again, because it's so long ago, hours ago. And this Gordian knot did need quite a long time to be cut through by maybe a Catalonian's word. So let's do this manually. Maybe sometime in the future I'll update this tool as well, but for now this is good enough, and good enough is sufficient, at least for the use here. So still 8 folks in the top 10. I guess none of them has played any game in the last 2 hours, although they might have. I don't know. Yeah, I think Carcharoth did. If I remember correctly, he was rated 600 something 2 hours ago. The others haven't changed, at least haven't changed a lot. Or the other ratings, I should say. So again, I'd still favor UI Scooty on table 1. I'm still not sure whether Grey Death or Dexter Logan should be the favorite on table 2. So quite likely still a coin toss. And then there is the featured match, mtuu versus 71st. If mtu watches this, sometimes he plays so damn crazy moves, but successful moves, and therefore it's always a pleasure to cover his games. And even if someone else is covering them and I'm not streaming myself, I always watch them, even if it's days later, because you never know in which corner of the board some fireworks might explode. So appreciate the style of play very much. And then these two tables, still with the 700 something rated masters being the favorites. So overall, if you want to take numbers, let me highlight the players I would expect to win. These 3 definitely. So that's a 2-1 in Poland's favor. If everything goes according to my expectation. Actually, I don't track this. Maybe I should start tracking this. So keeping me honest, trying to find out whether my expectations and my bets, in air quotes, are at least halfway decent, or if I'm totally off. But let's consider this a 2-1 in Poland's favor, and then there would be tables 2 and 3, which would decide the match, which should be, in theory, the closest ones. I mean, come on, we are talking about folks with thousands. I mean, what is this? Almost 26,000. So the second game of Mikhail's duel will be the 26,000th game on BGA. That's insane. That's I mean, I've played 50 something thousand games in my life, and I guess 90% of them online, many on Brettspielwelt, but 26,000 games of Carcassonne on BGA alone, that's insane. But it doesn't buy you anything for this duel, just experience. And experience helps a lot. But winning games is a different animal. And there's always a deck stacked against you waiting around the next corner. So we'll see what this final, after this really, really long setup period, will give us, and if it delivers on all the promise and maybe a bit of hype I try to conjure here. Yeah, so I hope quarter 2, the full hour, still is correct. Else I would need to fill the next 15 minutes again, which would be annoying. I hope they'll start soon. Let me quickly check if there's any news on Discord. Sorry. Yeah. Later, mtuu, later. Oh, looks like sorry, folks. Insider, I can't share it with you. Okay, looks like they are starting about now or in a minute. So, as I said, folks, game, no, not game, Duel 3, mtuu versus 71st is our featured match, and will be presented to you by me. In this window, everything else in the corners. And then we'll see. And here we go. Finally, the games have started. Poland playing on here with the yellow meeples and RCP playing blue. Both score 2 points with roads. 71st threatens the first bigger city, but mtuu counters, involves blue's road, prevents an attack by blue on the right side. And mtuu wishes to have fun. Yeah, why not? Let's check if I can fix the scoreboard here and then the remaining pieces as well. Yeah, this should be safe and sound now. So limitation up top just to prevent the splitter there. Yellow tries to save their city and gets a nice piece to do so. Just thought for a second whether to meeple the road, and sure, why not? Only 3 crossroads gone, and there's a Polish fan in the chat by the nickname of it, likely from Ukraine. There's a bigger score by mtuu, was immediately able to thwart Blue's attacking try on the right side, on the bottom side of his city. mtuu further advances the building of the ruin, quite likely is gunning to kill this square or at least obstruct it in such a way that this complex over here would feature 2 of Blue's meeple versus his 1. Therefore, Blue connects here just to equalize the ruin and not let mtuu run away with the bigger side of it. And now the question is, do you limit this? So there's a dagger needed over here, and actually that's no question at all. 2 of these daggers are already gone. No brainer. Therefore, the first critical tile in this match is the remaining dagger. And even if Blue were to get it, this might not even help them. Actually, let's sketch this real quick. If they get it, Yellow gets a curve. Bam! You are limited to the same dagger again, and this time there's none in the deck left. So it's actually not really helpful for Blue. But they might still try it if there's nothing else they can do with it. Yellow just in time liberates the monastery before it gets blocked to a starting tile. As precaution, takes this field. The one in the middle looks like it's not useful, at least for now. Yellow adds more city caps to it. Blue's also present there, tries to harass Yellow City, but Yellow does this before them. Quickly check. Okay, so here we go. Blue has to dump the juicy shielded extender somewhere. Can't use it on their city due to Yellow's timely block. And even though that impedes the progress of Yellow's own city, there are still 3 left-handed daggers remaining, which Yellow could use. But there's only the 1 right-handed dagger remaining, which Blue would need if this city were limited at the bottom with a field side over here. In this case, blue even adds this cow there just to take away yellow's chance to close this city with one piece. Definitely a good move by blue. Now yellow would need 1, 2, 3 pieces to close the city, and if they'd get it or get one of them, blue would be able to counter attack. So in the end, this farmer, as useful as it looked when it was placed, might suffer. But we'll see. Blue gets the splitter, attacks the city? Question mark. Yeah, here we go. There is the dagger. Blue uses it over there. Yellow can't execute the complete kill of this road. So now the dagger is gone. And if blue would like to close this city, they would need the starting tile and quite likely will be blocked to need another starting tile over there as well. If yellow gets the chance. They try to connect, but blue beats them to the punch. And yellow just, as precautionary move, adds the cow there. Else blue would have used the rose and then could have closed this city with the remaining starting tile. But news aren't good for yellow because this here is a kill. So their attack over here wasn't successful, and now the going could get really tough for yellow if blue manages to draw a city cap. They do. They could opt to close this city just to protect this square, but of course they don't. Yeah, tool not working. Bear with me for a second. Because for sure they need to close up here. There aren't that many pieces to kill this option. Actually, only the starting tile. So it's not just the starting tile that would be nice to get. Actually, it doesn't matter. So blue could protect this here by adding Road Dorito, but they don't need to, because the only piece left that would block the city would be the starting tile. So it's a 50-50 flip straight up. For now, yellow is in the lead, and they sure try to use their one meeple in hand as effectively as possible, but blue gets the starting tile. And with this sucks a lot of hope out of yellow's lungs. It's a pretty significant blow to yellow's chances in this game. This city cap is dead. This here is dead as well. Blue takes another 3 points, and so this is dead. This is dead. And yellow only has the one meeple in hand and is 16 points down. That's looking rough. So they even try Hail Marys like this, hoping that blue would get a straight and couldn't block this. Yeah, knowing full well that it was unlikely to be successful. But else this one would be blocked anyway. So if yellow were to get the road Dorito, then with almost all pieces, blue could have blocked this from the top, likely with straight, for example. So looks like yellow had to try this. Didn't work. Blue takes another 10 points, and yep, this game is gone. So 71st takes down the first win for RCP. Let's assess the other situations, and looks like Tomaszek is in a pretty close game against Mikhail. Let's switch to these two. This is dead. Quadruple city is at the bottom. Blue is up by 7 points, but yellow has one move more. There's still a cap to close this city on yellow's field on the left side. So maybe saving this one might be a good investment of this curve. Blue has these monasteries, a 9-point field. It extends 12 point. There is another one, so all the way there. Yeah, yellow tries to attack over here. There's still the vanilla left to connect. Again. So that's actually, I'd say, the wrong orientation. You'd rather would like to use the vanilla on the left side, hoping that blue would get the cow, for example, or at least would need to use this one over here. This is actually pretty interesting setup here, and it has a good chance of being successful because there are only 4 pieces left, and 3 of these would help blue taking over this ruin. Whereas Tomaszek now has to decide whether to take the 12 points or the 7 on the left. And I'd say he has to go here and then hope that blue would draw the starting tile. So in this case, you have to connect like this. And he finds the move. Mikhail execute the first connection. And Tomaszek gets the horse, is 5 points down. And is there anything to do here that would help him score? I don't see it. So he would need to find a way to take over the field, for example. But it would need to happen with the cow, because if blue would get the cow, he'd take over the ruin for a 12-point gain. And There's no way to attack the field with this and then successfully execute this one with the cow. So looks like Mikhail will win this one. And mtuu and 71st are already deep down in their second game. Boy, mtuu threatening a big city, and there should be an obstruction incoming. Wow. Doesn't do or doesn't even try to do something about this. Pretty interesting choice. So in the end, Tomaszek decided to take the 3 points on the left. He did hit the right permutation, and Mikhail just got the starting tile. But no, he didn't hit the right permutation. The right permutation, of course, would have been to get the cow and then the horse to connect to this ruin and take it over again. That would have saved Tomaszek's game, and this way I think he'll lose by 2 points. Yep, tough, but it is what it is. So then let's switch back to mtuu 71st and take a look if 71st will be able to manage a comeback in this game. He should try. Took the field, takes this one before anyone can go over here and meeple the 9-point field. Yeah, I should have switched to a different game actually, because at least some of them are close. But more or less done. Looks like a Waterloo for Tehran on table 4. Are kind of leading by more than 50 points. DoNotWasteMyTime wins on table 1 against UI Scooty. Looks like with a successful field attack in the end. And Dexter Logan is leading against Great Death with 16 points. So overall, not looking great for the Polish squad here. But we've witnessed earlier that even 5 game wins on all your tables might not mean scrap later on. There are still games to be played, and there are still chances for the Polish squad to come back. And in case of Great Death, it might even not be over, although it looks pretty devastating here. Yeah, no silver bullet. Even this rose, which they could have used to close their city in the middle, didn't go their way. So Dexter Logan taking the first game on table 3 as well. And then Carcharoth will take down the first one too. So after these 5 games, the RCP squad is leading the ETCOC finals 5-0. That's the same score as the Belgians had after the first 5 games against Ukraine. And in the end, Ukraine was able to win it anyway. So stay tuned. We'll see how this will develop. Over here, it looks like mtuu will equalize the duel at plus 31. And with this one here being dead, this one as well, I don't see any hope for blue to come back. No big features to take over. Maybe this field here though. Right now, yellow scores 3 and blue 6. Blue could extend this to the left, get 6 more, but it's really definitely not enough to put a bigger dent in mtu's lead. Actually, was there a successful field invasion happening? Yeah, looks like it. So in the end, Tehran was able to close the gap, but 20 points are still 20 points. So likely this was a foregone conclusion many moves earlier. Okay, then I think this one is done. Tables 1, 2, and 4 are still in the early stages. Looks like Tomaszek versus Mikhail might be interesting. So again, let's switch. Yeah. 50-37 right now. There's this hole to be filled with any of the 3 remaining horses or yellow, and this would add quite a lot to their score. So it's worth 8 now, 9, 10 at least. So 12, maybe even 14 points plus 2 points for this road, or maybe a field on either side of the road for 6 points. So definitely would be a huge gain for yellow to get this one. And their problem though is no meeple in hand, so definitely no 2 points if they'd get it now. They hope to get any city plus a field piece over here, except for the right-handed dagger, to liberate monastery and city. Else they might take the roasted dagger or the rito to liberate their road. Oh, the dagger they would use over here, but they get the wrong dagger. At least it's useful to protect this square against obstruction tries from the top. The worst thing that could have happened to them would be limitation like this, maybe like this. So they need horses in 2 places. And this here is insurance against that. So 8 points wasted or lost. Blue jumps on this field. Yellow liberates 2 of their meeples finally. But now they are behind. So in the end, MTU wins by 34 points. Both GG. And they'll start their decider. And I guess I might switch back to this match. So here we go. There is not just the dagger for yellow to close the top city, but immediately afterwards the horse and the shielded horse as well. But blue took a 12-point field up top, so the score is close. Yellow extends their field to the bottom, giving both a meeple back and leaving this empty city here hanging. Blue immediately kills it. Daggers are gone, all daggers for that matter. Yellow with another nice monastery, so that seems to be the 5th one. Blue extends the road and takes a 6-point field for 8 points. And this looks like the 6th monastery going to yellow. They are up by 14 points. But if blue could add more cities to their fields, this would work wonders for them. Their problem though is there aren't that many caps left. So this here actually is a nice find. 2 caps left to close this city. But this city, ooh, this one might hurt if blue would manage to close this one and still keep these 2 fields here, this one and this one, separated with 3 of the cities shared on both fields. That would be a big problem for yellow. For now, yellow attacks this field on the left side, adding 12 points to their score. So they are up by 16 now. Blue counters over here, hoping to get on there. Maybe there's an option up top. Doesn't look like it. So there's only a straight here. And whoa. Yeah. Yellow goes here. This would be still completable at the bottom, but it's more likely for blue to use one of the caps just simply over there. So actually that might work. Oh, totally neglected the piece in hand. And this then is bad news for Tomaszek, because he can't let blue draw the rose. This would threaten to close the city and attack this field. And even if the farmer on the left would be successful, then the field would still be blues. So he has to invest a meeple here. And could now even secure the connection, but this here takes precedence. So at 23 points and getting the straight, which blue desperately needed. This will be the tie in this duel. There's no chance for Mikhail to come back. And yellow even gets the connection over here. Now only checks if they could be adding insult to injury by taking this field attack. But as we can see, there aren't any straightish pieces left. So the farmer wouldn't make sense there. Yeah, I mean, blue could add this one over here, hoping that yellow would make a mistake there, but why do so? Just take the points on the road. And yellow will take points somewhere else and force the decider in this game. Let's check. Do not waste my time. UI Scooty is pretty close, so let's switch to this game. Yeah, yellow just closed their city and took a road, but all this happening on this blue field. There is a main field at the bottom shared by blue and yellow. And blue threatens to connect, but the square actually is dead. All starting tiles are gone. At least I think. Aren't they? Where's the fourth one? Am I blind? Oh, it's in UI Scooty's hand. So, well, they sure could take these road points, but this would be playing with fire, because then blue, of course, would do all in their might to kill the connection up top, so they won't. As simple as that. And there is still one dagger remaining of the left-handed variety, which yellow needs to complete their city. This would also liberate the road, the monastery meeple, and these two road meeples. So overall, not a huge gain for yellow. So if they find any better move, they do this. There is this one here, which waits for the last remaining extender. So maybe UI Scooty thinks about delivering a blow against this city and only checking how to, and in this case, it's tricky. This here couldn't be defended only indirectly by using the dagger. And there would be 4 blocking tiles. And you wouldn't even need to add something on that city cap. So that would be my preference. And actually, I don't see much else. This threatens the field attack, so it's more aggressive than trying to play on defense against Blue City. Blue limits this to the remaining monastery, and Yellow now has to decide whether they try to take this over with the monastery, or which would be my move, just take the 4 points. Tough luck for them. Blue just got the last monastery, so their 9-point field is safe for now. And that's the bigger problem over here. If Blue would get the extender, they'd use a meeple on the 6-point farm as well. So this then might be the final blow to Yellow's chances. For now, they are at +5 and still have 2 roses left. But there's also, is there another curve? Maybe the tool is wonky. Let's check. It's software. As I said earlier, it's bound to have bugs and not work all the time. So they secure the shot at getting one of the horses and roses, and they'll definitely, no, not definitely get one, but they did. They had quite a good chance drawing at least one of them out of the 3 remaining pieces, and this then secures Yellow's win in this game, allowing them to equalize this duel. And yeah, I forgot to open. Which is it? Tomaszek Mikhail, and no one said anything about it. I guess you're focused on the main game as well. So let's quickly assess the situation. Close games all around. Looks like Dexter Logan threatens to oust Grey Death in the second game. Then let's go back to where we started. mtuu versus 71st. With a 9-point lead for the Polish player with the yellow meeples right now. And then UI Scooty, do not waste my time, is in the bottom right corner now. Yeah, and the tables have turned. looks like there was a successful field attack at the bottom, likely. So the main field stands at 3 farmers each. And yellow got the wrong piece for them because there are still 2. That's the problem. 2 road Doritos left. And they didn't get anything to block, just this lousy quadruple crossroad. But now that city by blue is dead. Blue just added points to their ruin up top. And yellow is still behind, or again behind, by 4 points. This here is dead, so no unification of these fields. Therefore, blue's meeple is stuck at 9. Yellow's at 6 as of now. There are still 2 caps out there. So is there anything blue could still use to score points? And it doesn't look like it. There are 3 meeples on farms. This here is dead. There's the 4th meeple on a farm, and these 2 are in a ruin. So I actually am not sure why mtuu added this trade, because this could have killed the option of taking these 4 points with the last remaining rows. So mtuu, if you watch this later, please explain yourself. I don't get it. Maybe he thinks he needs to take the field. Then I would understand, because this would work at least with the road Dorito, but not with the rows. So there would be still a blocking tile left. Now he has the monastery, creates another outside attacking option, and he's starting player. So this would be ideal to get the 5-point road here, but he doesn't get it. But there's the salvation for yellow, getting the rows, taking these 4 points, could also take 3 points on the left side, and then something else, maybe the road up top, maybe in this city part, to eke out the win and put Poland on the match scoreboard. Dexter Logan won the second game versus Great Death, so it's 1-0 RCP. Carcharoth looks like he'll win versus Terran PL 2-0 as well. Yeah, 8 points. So after these games are done, it's 2-1 in RCP's favor. UI Scooty, Do Not Waste My Time is tied at the moment, and Tomaszek is leading against Mikhail-rus. So it will come down to the wire here. So in this game, mtuu just took 3 points up top. Didn't matter where, just the 1 point was necessary to win this one if the tool is correct, and it is spot on. So mtu puts Poland on the scoreboard. It's 1-2 after 3 duels, and the other 2 games are in the tiebreak. So in the third game, let's cover Tomaszek versus Mikhail. And then I'll switch the layout so you hopefully can follow the action a bit better. It's a lot, I know. But I like to keep track of multiple games at once, at least a bit, and to be easily able to assess situations quickly. So now, here we go. Well, there's a yellow field at the bottom, and there are 2 yellow farmers there. It's at 12 points. Let me switch this. It could still, with the help of a road monastery like this, extend over here. And this would actually be a great piece for yellow to get. For now, they attack this 6-point road by blue because there are still a lot of straight pieces out there, but they leave this cap in the open for blue to take. Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know. With 6 caps out there, this one, nah. Yeah, mtu and Nazari are hoping for Polish comeback, the same as Ukraine did earlier. But this exchange here lets me doubt, because Mikhail is down only 1 point, but has 2 meeples more in hand than yellow. And the good news for yellow, at least, is that they got one of the 2 remaining caps that blue could have used up top to close this city and take the field. And here we go. There is the second one, and no brainer. That's tough swing, tough development for yellow to take. But that are 8 points going to blue, and they are ahead by 7 now. Drawing the road monastery is a must. Maybe getting the crossroad as well to use not just the road monastery, but the 4-point road as well, to squeeze out all the points you can. I didn't mention the city at the bottom. It's dead. No. I don't think that this was the right decision. But it could lead to this city being completed. We'll see if Mikhail uses the curve to block this now. But I think in this case, when there's only one piece that could block your monastery, the cow, you might just have to flip and hope to draw the road monastery before your opponent gets the cow. Yeah, farmer, yeah, sure. Taking this one just in case blue manages to close one of these cities, and it's pretty likely with still 2 roses and a starting tile in the deck. So 6 points is the lead for blue now, and yellow needs a miracle. So connecting here, maybe getting the starting tile, and then lucking out on what is there? Well, blue drawing the cow and you getting the rose. Well, that's done, and I think that's the first sound of death nails I'm hearing. Sometimes I'm prone to call games too early, but in this case, there's no way for Tamashek to come back. The 6-point field up top is just not enough, and he has killed a good chance. Damn it. To use the road monastery over here, which would have unified these fields. I mean, would have only taken these 3 points away from blue, but 8 points over here as well. Overall, wouldn't have been enough still, but yeah. MTU is spot on. Disconnect only. Yep. So we'll see if Mikhail is able to finish the remaining moves within 4.5 minutes. And then we might even take a look at UI Scooty versus DoNotWasteMyTime, where the poll just drew a crucial road monastery to take a commanding 4-0 farmer lead on the main field. Sorry for chuckling, but that's pretty amusing. Looks like blue tried to attack this, but now they don't even want to connect anymore. Yeah, and over here, I don't know what's there to think about, but well, let him think. Yeah. So if anyone could help MTU, have a look in the chat. So takes the 4 points, is at plus 12. And he even took the 3 points on the left side. So looks like the revenge worked for the RCP team. after losing to at least parts of this Polish squad 2 years ago, they managed to win the gold medal this time. Yeah, scoreboard cosmetics, last moves don't really matter. It's only a question about the details in the end. So a shame that this monastery spot couldn't be used by yellow. And this here, yeah, rough. Maybe they would have been better served by adding this dagger. Let me get it over here. I'm not really sure if the extender was already there, but if not, they would have added this cap to their field, maybe for another 7-pointer. This year, it could have worked. Don't get me wrong, it could have worked, but I think the likelihood of it being successful was a bit smaller than they would have hoped for or had thought. So in the end, Mikhail wins by 13 points, and the only thing that's left to cover is UI Scooty versus Do Not Waste My Time. So let's go to that game. And once BGA loads, let's switch the layout again. So all you purists who like to only see one game at a time, this is for you out there. You're welcome. What the heck? Why can't I? Oh, wrong orientation. This should work. So if I call dead rubber moves in a game, scoreboard cosmetics, what is this? Match scoreboard cosmetics. Nice draw by yellow, getting the last curve for 5 points by removing this 6-point field from the occasion at the cost of adding 1 point to blue's road. Blue takes a 5-point road and yellow a field for the win, but it doesn't matter. This time around, it's the RCP team who manages to defeat Poland with a 3-2. It was a close affair, yeah, sure, but in the end, Poland was only able to win 2 out of 3 deciders after being down 2-0 in duels. Yeah, tough, but that's Carcassonne. RCP team, definitely one of the favorites, so not really surprising that they were able to win gold. So congratulations to both teams. Deserved medals for sure. Definitely strong squads. And was there anything else I wanted to check? I don't know. So let's take a quick look. Guess this isn't updated, but that doesn't matter. So if you haven't already, I appreciate any comments, any feedback, likes, subscribes, whatever. If you are ever interested in co-hosting, so being on stream with me, with Cam or not, I don't care. The voice is all I need. Please contact me on any channel you'd like, Discord, BGA, GitHub, whatever works for you. And I hope to see many of you tuning into one of my next streams, checking out more videos. And if you'd like me to cover specific games, analyze something, just let me know. Next streams will be the Hungarian Carcassonne Online Championship quarterfinals tomorrow and on Tuesday at 19 or 17 UTC. And well, I have to check the Czech online championships as well, and I'm pretty sure I'll cover Marty Party versus Bozic because these two might play for the win in this tournament. And Ireland, well, we'll see. Oh, folks, thanks for sticking around after this long break. Maybe would be interesting to get to know the RCP side of this argument as well, but in the end, it looks like the match was played with the original lineups as at least to what I could gather, should have been the case anyway, so I'm not sure it was necessary to talk or discuss for 90 minutes even, especially if you have your audience waiting. But it is what it is. I hope next time around there won't be any problems like this. So thanks again, guys, gals, and all other folks. See you soon. Bye-bye.